So I want to tell you a little story that I heard from Shlomo Brevda regarding purity of neshama, regarding watching our eyes, regarding being very, very careful in what we see and what we are forced to be involved in at times. People many times go out into the workforce, they have to travel, they have many different situations that could arise in their life that can be chas v'sholom a little challenging. So we need to take shovim and we need to ingrain in ourselves the kedusha of what we hear, what we see, and where we're at all times. So the story goes like this. Rav Shlomo Brevda said over a story about his Rebbe, Reb Chatzkel Levenstein, the Mashgiach Zatzal, from the Mir and from Panovich. At the time, Rav Shlomo Brevda was learning in Panovich. I think he was 17, 18, or 19. I don't remember what age he was, what he said, but he was in that age bracket. And he went to a wedding that was in Yerushalayim, and the whole Panovich yeshiva went to this bacher from Panovich's wedding. But they took 2 buses from Panovich to the wedding in Yerushalayim. On the way back from the wedding, Rav Shlomo Brevda says over that he was 3 rows sitting 3 rows behind Rav Chatzkel. And Rav Chatzkel was sitting conversing with another Rosh Yeshiva. I don't remember who it was. I heard the story 35 years ago. And he was sitting schmoozing with this Rosh Yeshiva. And Rav Shlomo Brevda, like I said, was 3 rows behind, and he falls asleep. Rav Shlomo Brevda falls asleep against the window of this bus. He wakes up in a pachad. Why? Because he doesn't know if he missed a stop or not. He sees most of the bus is empty. And he looks up and he sees that Rav Chatzkel's seat Rav Chatzkel's not sitting in his seat anymore. And he knows that his stop, Rav Shlomo Brevda knew that his stop is 2 stops afterwards, 2 quick stops afterwards. And Rav Chatzkel's not in his seat. Maybe he missed his stop. So he gets up and he leans over and he sees that Rav Chatzkel was in his seat. But Rav Chatzkel was sitting with his head all the way down to almost to the floor of the bus, looking like that he was trying to find money that fell out of his pocket or something. That fell out of his pocket. You know when something falls out of somebody's pocket in a car or in a bus and you lean all the way down, you're pushing Rosh Ruba, your mom is down there looking for the item that you lost, or you have to find something. And he saw Rav Chatzkel was like that. And Rav Brevda Darken made a joke that even in the Olympics, the way he was bent down like that, he would have won the gold medal for stretching gymnastics. That's how he was so, for an old person, all the way down like that. So he gets up, Rav Shlomo Brevda gets up to help his Rebbe. Gets up, and as he gets towards Rav Chatzkel, the other Rosh Yeshiva that was sitting next to Rav Chatzkel tells him, go, it's okay, everything's fine. Rav Chatzkel, there's a reason for this. No problem. He goes and sits back down in his seat. Rav Brevda says, a few minutes later, Rav Chatzkel actually gets off the bus, and now Rav Brevda knows that in 2 stops he's getting off. So he slides himself literally next to this Rosh Yeshiva who was getting off after even Rav Brevda. And Rav Brevda asked him, Rav Shlomo Brevda asked this Rosh Yeshiva, what was Rav Chatzkel doing? Why was Rav Chatzkel doing that? For almost a minute or 2, he was lying down like that. And his back, he's an older person. So this Rosh Yeshiva tells Rav Shlomo Brevda like this. He says that there was a movie theater that opened up on the road of this particular road that they were traveling on the bus. Because I guess Rav Chatzkel went to other weddings. And the lights of the movie theater would shine into the bus. And Rav Chatzkel was worried that the timtum of the lights of the movie theater flashing in the bus, for him, on his level, would affect him. That the lights of the movie theater would affect him, and therefore he put his head all the way down, that he shouldn't have any hana or any benefit or anything from the lights of this movie theater. Now, we're not all holding there, I understand it, but just to get a glimpse of our Gedolim, of how makbid they were on their eyes, how makbid they were, that chas v'shalom, their neshama should be tainted with any timtum. Even the minutest taint is to a gadol a damaging thing, something he wants to avoid it at all costs. So from this story, we should at least glean that we may have things to work on ourselves, on our eyes, on things that we expose ourselves to. Not just when you walk in Manhattan, or you drive through Manhattan, or you drive through and there are billboards. person should be vigilant and careful to the best of his ability that his neshama is pure neshama, the kind neshama shenasat to be tahiri. It's a pure and holy neshama, and I'm not the one to talk, but I'm working on myself, and I know shoivim, I'm working on myself even more. We have to be careful. And we should actually be honored and happy that we have an opportunity, and we're given weeks and weeks, and a person can do it all year. All year there should be a shoivim, but at least during these weeks a person builds in himself. Hanukkah is behind us, Purim is ahead of us, and these dark winter months of gullus, of sadness, of darkness, we should be vigilant in protecting our neshama. That's regarding Rav Shlomo Brevda, that's regarding shoivim.